Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros. Thank you all for tuning in. They're your hosts today. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Tom.
And I'm Tadeo.
We are three American expats coming to you from the beautiful capital city of Buenos Aires, Argentina. This is the podcast about everything but nothing, with some expat life news and comedy thrown in. This is the Velvet Hammer.
Okay, let's go.
Woo-wee.
What's happening?
Number
What's
11.
Yeah, our 11th episode.
It's our namesake.
Yes, that's right. We're 111 Entertainment, LLC.
My God.
I mean, we're legitimate.
We've made it this far?
We have to file taxes. Oh, God, that's coming up. What is? Oh, it's coming up, what, April 15th?
April, yeah.
It's been a long time, but we're going to have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we have much to do anyway.
Oh, that's right. Well, we'll do that income averaging for 3 years. You know, we'll have a $500,000 loss in 2025,
Right.
and then when we make $500,000 in 2027, we can just average it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We haven't made any money for ages. It's all right. Oh, God. Jesus.
Who needs money? We have Brahma.
Oh, that's right. Let's get started.
Okay, let's go.
Oh my goodness. Today our beer choices.
It's Brahma Day.
Oh wow, that's nice and cold. Also
that one.
very, very condensed.
That's
Jeez.
the humidity out here. It's been
that's-
raining for days.
Oh
Yes.
Lord.
Days.
Yeah, days of darkness. Wow. Since when? Saturday?
It's like London.
It's like 4 inches a day for this whole week. It's crazy.
Was it
Yeah.
15 centimeters? How much? You got some facts.
how
How
much
much
are
I
are
mean,
you
I don't have the.
I think it's 150 centimeters is 4 inches.
Okay, I know. That.
Because there's 2.5
150
centimeters to an
millimeters.
inch.
Okay, I know. I
Wait a second, that's not right.
Yeah,
150 millimeters.
yeah, this is
Millimeters.
where it goes crazy.
We wouldn't be here if 150 centimeters.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be
Actually,
inundated.
I don't have the stats, but I do know that it's a record-breaking rain. There were up in Rosario, I think it is, where they do all the soybeans.
Right?
They're about to harvest the crop, and they're actually bringing all the combines in. They're saying that because of all the rain, the combines aren't going to be able to get through the mud, but also because of all the rain, the roots and stuff are going to start growing fungi, and then some of them are going to sprout, and others are just going to pop open and just like fall into the ground.
But that's a soybean.
Soybeans only.
But they're also saying, on the other hand, that this is really good for planting the wheat crop.
Yeah, the wheat they said
which
is going
they'll
to
be
be
doing
great.
in a couple of months.
Yeah, so the wheat is going to be really great,
So
but
it's
the
a
soy
blessing,
they're going to
but,
lose. They're going to lose a lot if things pan out the way they do.
Wow.
Because it's terrible. They
And
can't-
that's in the north.
Yeah.
We live in the just south of the city in Avicenera, and Hurley and a couple other. They had almost a meter of flooding.
Wow.
People's houses got flooded up almost to their waist. Some people.
Oh my God.
Like because the city is mostly flat, but in the little areas where it dips and gets low, they get
that
all
sucks.
that water.
Oh, and
So
and no iPods. So how are they going to repair their house?
yeah, there was no National Guard.
Oh, that's the
And
worst.
imagine,
I've
it's-
never had a flooded house.
Yeah,
I
it's-
have never in my life dealt with that, but it looks horrible. Well, how can you even clean it up?
Yeah.
You gotta walk away
Especially
from it.
these
I
little
think.
small
But they
houses.
don't.
They got little small houses. Their mattresses are wet. Their clothes are wet. They have kids. And then the next night they have to go to sleep. Where are you gonna sleep?
Oh God.
There was nowhere to sleep.
Soggy
Everything.
mattress?
Yeah, you can't sleep on a soggy mattress.
No.
Your kids all had wet clothes. It wasn't cold, so luckily.
That's
But
true.
There was
Pretty
so much
miserable.
rain last night. I was sitting on my balcony and looking at the street, the gutters, the water was flowing out of the gutters
Instead of in. Yeah.
instead of in,
Wow.
because there was so much
Some
water
relief.
in it already, and maybe it was a little bit higher downtown, and it come out and it flow out into the streets.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Jesus, I think they said it was like 5% above average. It's like abnormal. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
And
huge.
the lightning.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, the lightning is
Yeah.
every second.
Yeah, the meteorological
Every
service.
second.
They actually
Beautiful.
counted. The meteorological service said across the entirety of the storm there was a lightning flash every second, like for hours.
It's crazy.
Wow,
I got some
imagine
videos of it. We'll try to share those with you.
Yeah,
soon.
definitely. When we put out this, watch our shorts on YouTube, on Instagram.
God, there
Isn't
was
that
one
good
this
though?
morning.
Oh yeah.
One this morning that just rocked my building. I live in a 15-story, concrete building, and it woke me up. I have no idea what time it was, and it it didn't shatter, but it rattled the windows and it vibrated the walls of this 15-story building. I thought I was back in Italy, having a little minor earthquake, a real quick
somewhere
minor
in the Midwest during a tornado or something.
We had one like that. It must have been right above your building because we had one like that a couple days ago, and it was it rattled the windows, and we both ran out of the room like, what the?
And the light flash was so bright. It was like a flash from a camera, like so bright. It lit up. And it wasn't even that dark. It was like 6:30, just barely.
Yeah, I remember I was just putting cream on my tattoos.
6:30?
Yeah, in the afternoon, in the evening. I mean, barely.
No, this one was this morning.
Oh yeah,
that
was this
midnight
one a
last
couple
night,
days ago.
I don't even know. I didn't even get up. I've got curtains on my windows. I've got a whole wall of glass, but they're 100% light blocking windows, so I didn't see the flash.
Oh yeah, see, we saw the flash. It's like a pow. Ooh, but I must say, being from California, where we don't have storms like this,
well,
it most of the time. Not with the cracks and the thunders. Like it is the coolest thing when those lightnings like that big, like these big ones, when you can see the thing buckle across the sky, and then you hear it crackling like.
Oh yeah.
And then finally the boom. Boom! Like, I find that to be so cool. Yeah. I'm a California boy. I'm not used to that. I never see that. Yeah.
Well, I have a story. When I lived in Richmond, I had a front porch, and across the street from me there was a church, a big church, and it had a parking lot that was like I was probably 50 meters from the building itself. And I was standing out there one time, and the storm was coming by, and I saw a lightning bolt far off to the north. And it went down at about 20 degrees, coming down like this, and it hit the chimney on the church across the street from me. Now the chimney's probably 6 feet tall and maybe 3 feet wide, and when I saw that bolt hit, it was 4 feet wide. A white bolt of electricity.
Weird.
That chimney exploded. And there were bricks thrown all over the parking lot.
Jesus.
It was incredible. I've never seen it. I thought it was maybe something like a mortar shell hitting.
You're right.
But most incredible lightning strike I've ever seen.
Wow.
Jesus.
I mean, I'm shocked that there's like that much energy in the air after like days of lightning storm. Like it lightninged for 2.5 days, and there's still more storm.
I don't
and
know
more
what
lightning.
makes it. It's something about the heat. I have no idea why lightning happens.
Yeah, it's supposed like
Isn't it the same as static on your head?
Static
right?
energy goes up, and then it sort of conglomerates, and then it gets so big it explodes, and then finds the nearest next static bubble, and next static bubble, and next static bubble, and it just and then nitrogen falls from the sky.
Yeah, because it explodes a lot of carbon dioxide. It's actually really good for the
fries
environment.
That's right.
So we have really fresh air here today.
That's true. That's probably why the air smells so fresh, because all that lightning shocked all the CO, the carbon dioxide out of the air.
Okay, yeah. And some of that. Ozone. Ozone is what they call it. Right.
And then turned it into nitrogen, which nitrogen is great as a fertilizer. Yeah. So all the trees are gonna be nice and happy, the plants.
And I figured the reason that chimney exploded was because the heat of the lightning bolt that was so big hit it, and what little moisture there was in the cement that was holding, the mortar that was holding those bricks together, instantly boiled and exploded, and that's why the whole thing blew apart.
Woo!
That's powerful stuff. Who was that? Was that Benjamin Franklin that put a key
with the
on a
kite?
kite?
Supposedly.
Supposedly,
yeah. Supposedly.
What kind of story? Jesus.
Right.
That's the equivalent of sticking your finger in a socket.
Right.
Here, let me put this paper clip in this socket, see what happens. Like. Yeah.
This
the
is like
stories they tell us.
Yeah.
But would that even conduct? Would a string?
It would
conduct to a.
I don't know. The myth is that he
it's
came down
ridiculous.
to him and he put it in a jar and he read a book that night.
Yeah, who knows? These urban myths. Oh my God.
Oh, Benjamin Franklin.
It kind of sort of reminds me of like Dubai, like the what they call it?
Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa,
right.
Tall.
Yeah.
It has this big spire and huge, thick cables that go all the way to the ground. And so that it'll catch lightning, because when they have these big desert storms, it has a lot of lightning. So all the tall buildings have these big lightning spires that have to guide the energy down. And what they're trying to do now is capture that. So when all that power from the lightning comes down into the ground, they want to take it to a power station and then redistribute the power back to the
at
city.
least put it in a capacitor.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so much energy that it explodes other capacitors. There's no way to capture it all. There's so much energy in lightning, they can't even capture it. They don't have a capacitor big enough.
Wow.
It's like, that's how powerful lightning is. That shit's amazing. It's pretty intense. But they're going to come up with something, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're
It's
gonna
only a
come up
matter
with
of
something.
time. You know,
And they got lots of money in Dubai, so
figure out something. Yeah.
you pay people enough, they'll figure it out. Ooh, that would be so cool. If they do that, they can sell it all over the world.
Well, someone will buy it and kill the project. keep using oil and gas.
What now?
no.
What did you say? Did you say Biden was going to kill that?
Someone's gonna kill the project. I pressure
Somebody's
an
going
oil
to kill the
company.
project. Oh God,
Got
Biden.
cars that run on water.
Are we ready to talk about the State of the Union address?
Oh my! I didn't even watch it.
Union?
Did he stay alive?
I saw the highlights and it was.
Did he
I
stay
don't know
alive?
what did you see any of it?
No, none of
I
it.
saw some
The
highlights.
guy was like, I'm not sure. He was on an alternate reality. He was not the guy that's stumbling up the steps to Air Force One. He was not the guy that was falling down and doing all this. I'm hesitating to say this, but I think that he was.
Oh, they drugged him up.
Yeah. Well,
They
you can
drugged
say
him
it.
up.
I
They
didn't know-
loaded him with
I didn't know
stimulants.
if he was
They gave him
drugged
some
up.
cocaine. They gave him everything.
They gave him a bunch of meth.
Yeah, they drugged him up.
He was so different than what he has portrayed for the last 3 years.
They're
And
like, we need enough drugs to make this man stay awake for 1 hour.
that's right, hour and 9 minutes.
Oh my God, 2 hours.
Wow, an hour and
An hour and a
nine.
half.
9, yeah.
Oh my God.
But
But
they say
yeah.
it was more of a campaign speech. You know, the State of the Union is supposed to unify the country and say what good things are coming and what we're going to do, and we got a bright future and all this.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he mentioned, I saw this on Fox News, and they had every one of his sound bites. He said, my competitor or my predecessor. He said that 13 times in the State of the Union address.
My God.
He says, my predecessor said, so basically, you know, he's talking about Trump, and he was just bashing Trump the whole time, 13 times.
Yeah, that's not a State of the Union. That's a campaign
That's not.
speech.
That's a campaign speech.
Since when has the State of the Union even been really about the State of the Union? I don't think for years it's been a dividing speech, and there's the Democrats on one side sitting down and the Republicans clapping, and if the Republicans were sitting down, for years, since Obama, since Trump, it's been so polarized. I don't even remember the last time there was a good State of the Union speech.
When it was first originated, well, the law is that the president is never allowed, except for an inauguration or the State of the Union, the president is never allowed to go into the congressional building. So once a year, they allow the president, or whenever it is, they allow the president to come in to make a speech directly to Congress. Usually he has to talk to the congressional people on his own.
Separation.
Yeah,
of
separation.
powers.
Yeah, so the president can never go into their offices, or he's technically not supposed to. So that's why this speech had, back in the days, it was much more realistic. It was much more of a real State of the Union. Now it's all become
everything back in the days.
So there's three that we have: the legislative, the executive,
and the judicial.
Yeah. And so actually, the president is the number one cop in America.
Yeah. So
he's in charge of enforcing the laws.
Right. So
also
it's like
in the world,
the president is like the CEO. Congress is the board of directors, if we want to put this in corporate speech, and the judicial is, I don't know, your
the lawyers.
Lawyers
are lawyers.
Yeah,
you can't. There's no other word.
What do they call the Office of Internal Affairs or something? Whatever, something like that. What was it called?
They interpret
the
the
internal
laws.
auditors or something like that. Oh, well. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, the interpreters of the law. Yeah. So I don't know what but you know, the final numbers came out, and Biden, after it was all said and done, after the State of the Union, there were like 46% of the people that really liked this union, maybe 56% of the people liked his address, but in the net sum, after everything was done, he lost 1% of the popular, people that think he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Trump gained that 1%. So it's like they drug him up, they put him up there. So
wrong.
Obama's got his hand up his ass, moving his mouth. Hello, talk to the hand, talk to the hand. Now, fuck you, Obama.
Damn.
So anyhow,
okay.
but he lost.
We're all free
he
to believe.
lost support
Wow.
because of that speech.
Jesus, I think I kind of have to watch just the first 5 minutes just to see how coked up he was. Jesus.
Oh God,
I'm just curious.
Okay, Tadeo and I, Johnny wanted to watch the State of the Union address live with us, with our mics on and everything to comment. And Tadeo and I decided, no, we don't want to do this.
Yeah, y'all were
but we had to
tired.
promise that we are going to watch the debate between Trump and Biden live together. And with our commentary. I think there's going to be enough comedy on the television without us.
We're going to record it, and I'm going to make a ton of shorts. I'm going to make so many short videos out of this. It's going to be so funny.
That's good. But we are going to do that. It's a promise, folks. It's coming up. I don't know when the debate's going to be, but they
might never debate.
So Biden hasn't agreed to that? I thought he had agreed to that.
I don't know.
Trump has not debated yet, and he won the nomination.
Exactly, yeah.
So they may never debate.
They may never debate. This is what it's come to.
This is the first rematch election since 1956. The first rematch where two opponents are going back up against each other.
Okay. 56. That would have been Eisenhower.
Oh, wow.
And who was the one before Eisenhower?
Because it was Clinton, Bush.
Oh, no, you got to go back farther than that. 56.
I wasn't born before
Eisenhower was elected right after World War II. He's a big general.
I was born during first Bush.
And maybe it was, not Polk.
Let's see this.
No. Hey, if you know, send us a comment. We'll try to correct it.
He's trying to look it up right now.
I should have known this little fact.
Did you know that Biden actually went
right.
to debate school, debating? Okay, he is bona fide. He's degreed, and he is a masturbator.
He's a master debater. Master debater.
He went to debating school.
Oh my God!
Look out, Trump.
Oh no! Don't you have isn't that joke in one of your? Well, let's not talk about that.
He was right though. It was Eisenhower.
It probably is. It's one of my favorite jokes.
Yeah, I was like, I think I read that joke in one of your scripts, which we can't talk about because it's not out yet, so don't want to ruin that.
Well, we can talk. It's called I Love Inc.
All right, that's all we can say.
No, go ahead. It's gonna be a cartoon, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, that's all we can say.
Folks, we're getting there.
Oy vey. Oh.
You were right. It was Eisenhower.
It was
Eisenhower
okay.
Stevenson.
It was Eisenhower. Okay.
Yep. So we're doing it again. But there is still RFK Jr. in the race, and no one has been giving him.
Too. What is that all about?
He has 20% of the popular vote, but no one is really giving him any media attention.
Oh wow.
Well, the thing about that, at the very last minute, he can throw his constituency or the people that support him to either candidate. And that is what's been so important about independent candidates in the past. I don't know if you remember Ross Perot. He was a big tech
asshole
guy in Texas. And he got all these people together, and then at the very end, he just threw his support to another candidate. I think he threw it to Bush.
Yeah, I remember.
That's how we got
asshole.
George W. Bush Jr. George W.
Senior.
And that's how we got 9/11.
That's also how we got Malay too.
Oh God.
If I were like an independent candidate, and they wanted me to throw my support, I would ask for an enormous sum of money, and I would do it to whoever pays me the most.
Or power.
No, fuck power. I would ask for a large sum of money. No, wait, let me finish because I'm about to twist this around, and then I'll take the money, and when I make my throwing of support speech, I'll say, oh, by the way, this is a sponsor. Oh, by the way, this was a sponsored speech. I got paid this much for it. Done. And then just totally undermine the fucking support I just gave. But I'll take the money anyway.
After the election, after the vote.
But I will take the money to throw my support. But during the speech that throws support, I will undermine the support by saying, "Oh, they paid me to do this. This is not real. I don't actually support them. I was paid to do this." Because
that's American way, I guess.
I mean, I don't get this support bullshit. If somebody supports you, then why choose it? Well,
people are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
People are kind of overall stupid.
where do we go now?
I don't know. I want to go to.
You got something, Johnny?
Oh,
We
yeah,
go there.
or you
I've
got
got a few
something?
things.
Okay.
Let's do
How about
it.
You had something? No, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say people are stupid. Are we in World War III right now as we know it?
Oh Lord. Oh good God.
Nah.
We're talking about
yet.
human leaders.
Oh.
But it's soon. It's
I
soon.
mean, we might already. We might
We
be in the
did-
first throes of it. I mean,
I think it is.
Germany was at war before with other people long before we realized it was a world war.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, on that prick in Korea, North Korea, he's bringing all the military up and getting it ready.
So
and he
they're-
actually flew one of their fighter jets, or I don't know what the hell, some kind of bomber, got a couple of nukes on there. You know, he's gonna take out, you know, Honolulu. I have no idea what he has to plan. I mean, he's gonna get 10 miles from the airport, and we're gonna blow his ass up.
Like, bitch.
but
I
just
don't
the
know, I
same,
think
just
that's
the
all-
same. Uh,
I don't know. There's the possible war in Taiwan. There's the war in the Middle East that's going on that's involving a bunch of countries, and there's the war in Ukraine that's been going on for 2 years. It's like these big countries kind of using these smaller countries to like jostle and look at each other's war tech and kind of poke their opponents and kind of get to know their opponents before they actually enter the ring.
oh Lord.
They're using these smaller countries, and just like you said, North Korea is looking like they're going to try and do something out there in the China Sea, Taiwan.
And then after Trump is reelected next November, there's going to be a civil war in the United States,
Oh,
and that's going to fuck us up as North Americans.
That's
a
been
lot.
brewing. That's been brewing a long time.
I've been talking about a civil war in the U.S. for 4 years. It's
yes.
coming.
I mean, sometimes I feel like sometimes you can, if you look at the movies that come out during any given period, the movies are sort of a foreshadowing of what's to come. Generally, like they're having all these weird. They had all these like zombie movies and like zombie shows where people get infected and like in epidemic things, and then boom comes COVID. Like, whoa, that's weird. Now they're having all these Civil War series and movies coming out. Now they're doing big
There's a
leader.
Civil War movie out?
Yeah, there's a Civil. Yeah, there's a series of Civil War.
Really? About
Yeah.
the U.S.
About the
Civil
old
War.
Civil War.
The second
No, about a new civil, about a theoretical future Civil War,
Okay, the second Civil War.
or a Civil War in general. It's all fictional, of course.
So
Whoa.
what you're kind of saying here is the art kind of dictates the reality
Or
influences it.
I don't. Or maybe it's like the artists can see their artistic intuition is somehow able to capture that before it happens. I don't know if it influences it. I mean, obviously it does. But
Well, it's also Hollywood, so.
yeah, but I don't know. It's just very weird.
Still.
It's really strange because I've been watching like there was one where
Well, also the first pandemic movie
There's-
with the monkey came back. That came out like in the '90s, and there was no pandemic.
well, I mean, there were a lot more I mean, the whole fucking Walking Dead. That's all about.
I guess there was like mad cow disease, but that wasn't really like a pandemic and all that stuff that happened in the '90s. All the '90s, gotta love them.
Mad cow disease. Boy,
Mad
that's a
cow
flash
disease.
from the past.
Yeah, all mad cow
Mad cow
disease.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's all. I don't know. It seems like we're fighting all these proxy wars, and things are not gonna get better. Doesn't look like anyone's looking for peace to me.
Oh.
No, that's a good reason to be in South America. You know,
Yeah.
Buenos Aires is a safe place.
Get
We're
the
not
hell
going to
out.
hurt anybody. We're just 17 million people down here living in love, peace, and harmony.
Right. In fact, there isn't even. They can't even hurt anybody. Like there's like barely any navy in Argentina. There's no fighter jets. Like they can barely even fucking protect themselves. But who wants to attack
Argentina doesn't have an army,
Yeah,
a navy, or an
exactly.
air force.
Yeah.
It's why?
Right.
It's everybody.
When Argentina wants a new fighter jet, they go to the used car store. They're like, oh, so I see you guys some old fighter jets here. Oh wait, we can't afford that one. Oh, we can't afford. Wait, what's that dilapidated chunky over there? That little honky. Oh, we'll take that one. We'll take that one. We can afford it.
Well, talk about sorties, you know, sending out planes to bomb things. Hell, it's an 11-hour flight from Europe, and it's another 11-hour flight from the United States. I mean, what kind of a sortie is that? You
Yeah,
know,
right.
Let's go down
Long
there and bomb Argentina.
Yeah, right.
Okay, take off now.
I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's they're harmless. It's like blowing up sheep.
Oh, and everybody's just having a good time and
Yeah.
enjoying life here.
Well.
If they have any money. I mean,
True.
Malay
Well,
actually curbed inflation last month.
Yeah,
It
so-
was what was it today?
Last month it was 20%. This month, January was 20%. February was 13. Yeah,
13%.
Yeah.
And in December it was 26.
yeah.
And
So look at-
it was in the 20s for many months before December.
Oh, you-
November, October, September.
There is a reason for this. So the Argentina Central Bank has been buying dollars, right? Like they're trying to build up their dollar reserves. So they have some reserves to bolster their currency. So the central bank reserves topped 10 billion on Wednesday of whatever week we're talking about. You guys are going to hear this later. But turns out, since taking office, every single trading day except for 2, the Malay government bought dollars. So they're just buying dollars and filling up the reserve, and they finally have topped 10 billion in dollars in the reserve, and the IMF has been giving them targets. They're already at their December target for 2024.
Really?
Yep.
God, Malay is
Yeah.
doing it. His team is right
I'm
on
like,
it.
they're like, what? So that's why everything's getting really strong. Like the black market peso under 1,000 for the
Yeah.
first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Which means our pesos are going to suddenly start getting
Yeah,
really
our-
strong. We're like, oh
We're-
shit!
I mean, we were buying 1,200 pesos for $1, and now we're down at 1,000.
Right.
It'll probably go back down a little bit.
Right.
But if the inflation doesn't,
And the inflation
jump
stops.
up,
Exactly. Then
then
it'll be.
we're still good as
Yeah.
expats.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the key. So yeah, he's really actually doing it.
Kicking ass. I think he really knows. He's an economist.
Yeah.
True.
You know, he knows.
Okay, but after all that, their net reserves are still negative 1.2 billion. So after a couple more months, they will have their net reserves above. So if you
In
take away the reserves minus all that they pay out. But the good thing is, well, I guess it's not good. These high inflationary periods plus recessions sort of force businesses that are hoarding dollars to start selling them because they need local cash. They need to raise cash. So they sell their dollars, and the government's taking the dollars too. So they're still building up reserves that way. But
It's so complicated.
yeah, economics is a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a
But
thing.
I guess that's good news for the Malay.
As long as inflation can go back to, I mean, inflation is going down, so
It is, yeah. And food prices have stopped rising so much.
it's stabilized a little bit more. That's God. Ugh. It's wild.
Yeah. So that's like, wow.
Well, Argentina's a beautiful country. And Buenos Aires is what, half of Argentina? Half the people in Argentina live in Buenos Aires, 17 million people.
Yeah,
And
we'd
I
be
think there's
surprised.
like 35 or 40 million people in Argentina
Yeah.
in total. And
Right.
so it's a beautiful city.
Oh,
My
God.
God, the
Yeah.
people are
You have to
gorgeous.
come travel here.
They have a good attitude. It's getting tough on them, but if they get through it, this is going to be a world-class city.
Oh, yeah.
And with
it
Malay,
already is.
he's got 4 years to do. Look what he's done.
Yeah.
He's been what? He took off on December 10th.
December, it's
20.
only March.
Yeah,
December
so-
20th,
yeah.
so
we
it's
got,
been 1, 2,
got
3,
to
4
January,
months.
February to March. He's only 3 months.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's done all this.
He had the first surplus. In 3 months, he's had the first surplus Argentina has had since in memory. He's topped 10 billion in reserves in 3 months. Like that's like hack and slash, but very effective.
Well, I mean, he's only done like what 5-6% of his term, so it's a marathon. He's still got to do the rest
Oh,
of the
yeah,
90%
yeah.
of the time that he has
But
to
if
do.
he gets that momentum going, it'll only slow from there. Like you go from what you're meant. I mean, I guess he could build momentum over the course
Yeah.
once people get used to him.
Well, people right now I think they're still in the shock and they're still supporting him through it. But if people, because they're like,
Right.
at least it's different.
They're
At least
still in
things
the
are
shock. I
changing.
like that. You're right. They're still in the shock. You're right. That's it. They're still in shock.
He's kind of
Like,
It's like I told my landlord when I was talking to her. I said,
that's it. I like that.
yeah, it's going to be tough for Argentines what Malay's doing, but if not now, when?
yeah.
Right.
Sino ahora cuando?
Yeah.
And she agreed, like, it's time.
I think that's the same mindset of a lot of people. They're like, we've seen the same, we've seen the other side. No one can do it, so let's
for
change
70
and
years
let's.
they've seen the same bullshit government.
40,
Yeah,
but yes.
people are just tired of it. And I mean,
It's been
I
robbers
think,
and then robbers.
yeah, it's just well, hey, I applaud the Argentine spirit right now because they are dealing with some shit, regardless of whether they like Milei or support him. They're dealing with it. Like we still like we went out like the last weekend just like looking at we were looking at apartments, but the people walking around were still living their lives. They were still out having coffee, talking with each other. They were still you know going to restaurants and enjoying themselves. Like okay, things are gonna get harder, like worse before they get better, but they're not putting their lives on hold. They're still enjoying their lives.
Yes, now Americans, North Americans, United States people. Clarify that.
Yeah, right.
And whenever you say, "Well, I'm an American,"
Estadounidenses.
you say, "Well, I'm an American too."
Right.
I was born in Buenos Aires, so you got to be careful.
Yeah,
But
estadounidenses.
they get bogged down by that shit.
Yeah, they get really bogged down.
They start worrying about it, and they stop buying shit.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
get really
and,
negative. They
you
start
know,
doing wars, robbing each other. Oh, speaking of robbing.
Oh God! Talking about crime.
Speaking of robbing.
Did you see that the governor of New York has sent the National Guard into the subway systems in New York City?
Oh yeah, I saw to check bags and all this.
They're
She
checking
said,
the bags. They have guns. They're there because the subway system in New York is absolutely dangerous. You just can't even ride the subway anymore if you're a normal person.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's taking it over.
This reminds me. This really reminds me of some like Batman. Like when what's her name was in the subway and she got like attacked and the Batman had to save her. But she's like, who are you?
Is
Because
the problem
subway's
violence, or is the problem that the subways are dirty and nasty and have homeless people? Because I don't know why they're searching people's like everyday
Why
people's
is the
bags.
National Guard?
I've never seen like shootings on the
she sent
subway.
the National Guard in.
What?
I think
Guns,
they need
uniforms,
to.
helmets, the whole bit. You can look it up. It's
That
there.
sounds like some martial law shit.
It is kind of like martial
Yeah,
law.
that's
but
my
it's-
problem.
It's if the governor of the state of New York deems it necessary to protect her constituency and the people that live in her state, and to do that, she has to send in men and women with helmets and guns to make sure they're safe on the subway, then that's got to tell you a lot about what's happening in the United States.
The New York police can't even do that on their own?
I feel it's weird to me.
Now the
That's
police
just
chief
weird.
in New York
That's
is
weird.
saying,
Something's off about
police
that.
commission,
Yeah, there's definitely something
he's
off.
saying, I don't know why
100%.
she's sending in this militia,
Yeah.
because we can handle this.
Yeah.
We can handle
Some-
this.
So then
fishy.
something is wrong.
There's something fishy.
If the guy who's in charge of security says we don't
can
need the
handle
security
But he
because it's
wasn't
not
doing the
that
job,
level.
apparently.
But
I mean, there were so many incidences of people being accosted, mugged, hurt,
But that's-
shoved in front of trains. I mean, it's some bad
But that's
shit.
not a National Guard issue. That's the police's issue.
I think
Just
what
to
they need-
strengthen the police. That sounds
Strengthen the
really fishy.
police?
I think that by putting the guards there, it's talking of something larger that's occurring up in the higher governmental levels. Like they're prepping New York for like a war or some shit. Like why are they're getting people
get
accustomed
used to it.
to having National Guard searching your bags and invading your privacy even as you go to work in the public transport system. That sounds very fishy to me. There's something that
Okay,
I don't like that.
I'm
The
hearing
police
you.
can handle it. That's what the police are for.
I can hear that, yes.
I say if you're gonna spend any money, put more police guards in there and put in some construction workers, put in some cleaners,
Yeah, clean it.
rebuild it,
Yeah,
make it
right.
safer. In Korea, they have glass in front
Right.
of the subway,
Right.
and so the subway will come in.
Improve it.
Yes, the subway will come in and line up with these glass doors. The door to the subway will open, and the glass doors will open, and you can walk into the subway. That way, no one can get pushed in front of a subway car.
That's brilliant. That's so
There's a
smart.
big, huge glass
That's
wall
so
of glass.
Wow, that's
Also,
so
it's clean.
smart.
They have just
why doesn't everyone
sanitary
do
But
workers.
why
that?
did they do that? Were they having problems with that? That's a lot of money. To put
But-
glass doors in all the stations.
But I mean, obviously,
Yeah, the
because
whole-
the whole world has subway stations and people have been like fucking thrown
Thrown
into
in.
So they probably learned from the rest of the
Well,
world.
Korea has the #1 airport in the world for I think 26 years running. So these
Damn.
motherfuckers don't fuck around.
Yeah, they know
Korea
their
has
shit.
they do shit and they do it very well the first time.
And they do it right.
Like here, you can see they're rebuilding the subway already. They've just built a new station under the Plaza Messina and they're already rebuilding it. Why didn't you just do it right the fucking first time? Pisses me off. At least Korea, they do it the first time right.
They do it right the first
it's just
time.
still weird. Like, I don't think you need the National Guard
No, that's
to
ridiculous.
ever come into. The National Guard's supposed to guard you from other nations.
Yeah. It's
Well, no,
the National
that's
Guard.
Not right. That's not right. The National Guard they send the guard into disaster areas
Or
like
disaster.
hurricanes,
Or that, yeah.
tornadoes,
But when-
to
when-
maintain
A
the
foreign-
peace. I think it's
or-
more of an internal thing. I don't think that we're real. The National Guard is national. It's not the international. It's not the CIA.
No. It's like if we become invaded. So while our army is out fighting wars against, like, on the turf of the people who are at war with us,
Which they always
our
do.
National Guard will protect the homeland when people invade us.
Or if a disaster
Okay.
happens, earthquakes, tornadoes,
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
floods.
The United States has never been invaded.
Except for Pearl Harbor.
There have been.
That was an attack.
Except for
not an
what
invasion.
now?
No, that was an attack, not an
the
invasion.
invasion at the
That wasn't,
southern
that wasn't an
border.
invasion. You're all right. That was an
Okay,
attack.
but there have never been foreign combatants in World War I, World War II. What was the other? The Spanish-American War. I don't think that was fought in Texas. It may have been fought in
Pearl
Texas.
Harbor.
All the way back until we weren't
Pearl
in the United
Harbor?
States. No, that was an attack. Not an
Oh, it was an
invasion.
attack, not an invasion. Ooh.
Yeah.
What about the invasion of the southern border? Just kidding. That's not an invasion. Those are just people looking
Oh,
for a home.
God. And now what's
I
happening?
know.
Oh, let's
invasion of the
let's
southern
dive
border.
into.
These motherfuckers.
You know,
We're
a little,
being
you know a little
invaded.
country
It's
called
really sad.
Haiti.
Right.
Beautiful place.
Oh my God.
I would love to see what the Americans say when, like, Chinese or an invading force actually comes in with weapons and guns and starts killing all your people. Then they're gonna look to the boards and like, that wasn't an invasion. Those were just people trying to work and live in our country.
Exactly.
Wow.
Those are poor people without guns, without even with one pair of clothes.
They just
and
wanted
a
some
better
of them don't
life.
even
That's
shoes
when you
on.
want the Proud Boys on your side.
Right. All they wanted was a life.
Yeah.
Now these people are coming. They want to take your country. They're gonna kill you all and they're an invading force.
Speaking on that, let's look into
I'd love to
that.
see what
That's old school.
If I
though.
take exactly what you
That-
just
They
said,
can take over the country on the internet, in cyberspace. I mean, they can do it with money, and they can do it, and nobody has to get hurt.
Brahma.
Until it comes time to kick the motherfuckers, the Americans, North Americans,
Oh.
out of their houses because you want to move in your Xinjiang.
Oh God. But well,
ooh, wow.
I think.
I mean, what you just said, you were saying it's good to have the Proud Boys on your side. You were saying if a foreign invasion comes, you need to kick them the fuck out. There's a lot of, we're calling them
Wait,
armed gangs in Haiti. Well, I would just call them the Proud Boys because the U.S. keeps having these coups. Every time Haiti's doing well, the U.S. will send in a new person, and then Haiti flies into chaos. So they have these really strong Proud Boy groups that are called armed gangs. They call them
They
gangs.
call
I
them
don't know
armed-
why they use the word gang.
Oh, they're actually
They're actually
like
very
nationalists.
They're
They're
nationalists.
just trying to protect their country
And
from
it's like-
an invading force.
Exactly.
What, the gangs?
Yeah,
No,
they're
they're
trying to
called-
protect themselves from the CIA, from the U.S.
Oh,
involvement.
okay.
Yeah, what if I called the Proud Boys a gang? The Proud Boys to me is a gang.
Okay.
They're a bunch of
But they're,
hoodlums.
they're like, no, we're trying to protect our country.
Proud Boys to me are patriots.
So what would
That's
you
what they
call
call
these Haitian gangs? What would you call them?
They're doing the same exact thing.
What's the guy's name? It's like the
Barbecue.
Crocodile. There's one man, and they say he has control. He's the leader of a gang.
Bar-
he has control of 80% of Haiti now.
Sure, but the
Barbecue.
Thing,
His name is Barbecue.
If they're doing the same thing that the Proud Boys do, just for their own country, would you call them a gang or would you call them Proud Boys? If they're doing the same exact
Patriots.
thing, you call the Proud Boys a patriot.
Well-
why not call the Haitians
well-
a patriot? They do the exact same thing.
The media is not telling us what these guys in Haiti are doing.
Yeah, they don't
They're
tell
just
us.
I've
saying
seen-
they're doing something.
Yeah, they don't
They
tell
don't
us
tell
anything.
us what.
No, and we can't
And-
trust
and
them. We have to
maybe-
look on
maybe
our
it's
own.
an important thing they're
Does the
doing.
media tell us what the Proud Boys are doing? What are the Proud Boys doing?
That's true. The media doesn't tell us what the Proud Boys are doing. We had to actually look and find out that they're friendly their country. So I wouldn't have known that if all I listened to was media. The media like, oh, the Proud Boys.
I
are
did
this."
listen to an interview from he has a real name, but they call him Barbecue for short. He's really black. I don't know.
That's the guy. That's the
Barbecue.
guy that's in charge of 80% of Haiti.
And what he's saying is, you don't need to fear us. We're here to protect ourselves, our communities, from the invading forces, from the
How
police.
did you find that
from,
news? I have not seen that anywhere.
Research. Honey.
It was a non-cited news interviewer, someone from either Al Jazeera or the BBC who just
love
came
Al
and
Jazeera.
Al
interviewed.
Jazeera.
I love Al
They're a wonderful organization.
And he's saying, we're just here to defend ourselves. We don't want your president. We just want to have our own elections. We don't want Kenyan. They're trying to bring the Kenyan army over.
Yeah,
it's just like, well, we're here because you killed our elected leader, and then the new one is he's
and
U.S.
then
back.
placed one in his place.
And now he can't even come back into the country. He is going to resign, and now they're going to have hopefully some new elections.
Oh my God!
But I'm just saying, are they just patriots? Like, why can't they be called patriots and cowboys?
That's a nice slant on it. Okay.
How are we living in slant?
It's like
That's
it's
the truth.
equal.
I'll admit I'm ignorant on all the facts because I haven't delved into it.
Right.
But how
So
many
now,
people really delve into it?
Right.
We read the headlines and it's bad news in Haiti. And the last thing I saw about Haiti was that the U.S. is expecting a mass migration of immigrants coming to the United States from Haiti. And they're painting this like, this is going to be really bad. To have all these Haitians come here.
I mean,
They did the coup.
any sort of immigration
so
for the United States is bad. There's an invasion at the border, apparently. So now these people have to come in by boat. I mean, come on, gee. You little people need to shut your
That's
crackers.
old school. That's Cuba stuff back in the '60s.
I mean, like,
landing
how
on
the
Fort
hell are
Lauderdale
you gonna
Beach.
get here? Like, y'all need to shut your crackers. You need to shut your crackers. I mean, crack.
Oh, Johnny, I see you've got a fresh Brahma.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, they're getting warm real
Let's do a
fast.
dual pop.
Yeah, ready? And time for
One,
our shameless
two,
capitalistic product
three.
plug.
Oh,
right
there
on
we go.
time.
Okay, right on time.
I said shameless capitalistic product plug crack. That was very good.
Okay,
Ladies
well,
and
I had to
it's
get back
time
in
for
that
our
'cause it's been-
shameless.
Shameless capitalistic product plug.
Yeah,
this
has to.
episode not at all and in any way brought to you by Brahma.
Not at all. They do not sponsor.
Not
They
even
do-
a
they do
single,
not-
not even the singlest bit.
They only fuel.
Yeah.
They don't sponsor.
Fueled by. There we go.
Fueled by Brahma.
right.
Oh, great.
Fueled
That's-
by Anheuser-Busch. Truly.
And Quilmes.
What is the one?
InBev.
Ambev.
Ambev, there it is.
See, Anheuser owns it all, and then next one is Ambev.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Oh,
merged
Lord.
into the same. AB InBev. It's all merged.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all merged together, so it's one big giant thing.
Powerful people.
Yeah.
It's a conglomerate.
God.
I love Brahma.
It is, yeah.
Conglomerates
It's less.
of
It's
things.
for those of you who do end up visiting, and you hear our little jingles, and you're like, why do these guys always have the Brahma more than they have the Quilmes? Ding-ding. It's because Brahma's less fizzy and foamy, and well, at least for me, Brahmas are always foamy and they just fill you in your
Quilmes.
Quilmes is more foamy. Yeah. Brahma's not
They
more, a lot
say.
more suave.
Yeah.
A lot more suave.
And,
Although,
their cans support artists, and there are musical artists that
That's
they
true.
print on the cans, and I don't know, I guess you could probably. I had the thought the other day that maybe I'd start collecting the artwork that they put on the Brahma cans. And just spread it out. It'd probably be, I don't know, maybe 8 inches wide if we really flattened out a can.
Yeah, flatten a can out.
Spread it out.
They do actually
But,
charge more money for those cans.
They do charge more money for
and
those
it's the
cans.
same beer on the inside.
And the money, I presume, goes to supporting the arts in Argentina.
Probably, yeah.
This is also a new can. They also have the all orange cans.
Yeah, that's
they have
true.
half white, half orange.
Yeah, this is the standard.
This is
or-
like with the beautiful, like I guess a
yellow-
goddess on it
yellow
or
and
something.
white, yeah.
Well, speaking of making more money, on the flip side, Mr. President Millet, is actually in the midst of a scandal right now. Because since he took office, his pay has increased by 48%.
I read that.
And now everyone's like, how can you be like slashing and gashing, but you're taking a 48% pay raise? So he goes and he looks at it, and he's like, oh, actually, well, this is his retort. I haven't really read into this because my Spanish is like not so good for my Spanish sourcing, but he says it's one of Christina Kirchner's old laws that says that politicians have to be paid more than public service workers. And he's like, well, now I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill that law and stop taking raises. And he fired the labor minister over not warning him. He's like, you should have warned me that this was coming so I could have hacked and slashed it. You're fired.
Oh, perfect.
So So I'm like laughing and like also like, wow, what the F is going on? And weird also, that bitch Kirchner.
Oh God.
She put a law in and people allowed it. They passed it through Congress. Of course they passed it through Congress.
Because Congress benefited.
Yeah. Politicians have to be paid more by law than a public service worker. And you could even take public service to mean a teacher working in a public school. So your politicians, by law, have to be paid more than your teachers.
Wow.
Well, that's not. What does a congressman?
That was a very long. That was a huge stretch of logic, but
yeah,
it's still they are public service workers.
So I don't
that
know.
Bitch.
Politicians what
congressmen,
people in Congress in the States, what they get paid. It used to be they got paid like $160,000.
It's not that much of that. Well,
it's
but
125.
And senators maybe get about the same, maybe a little bit more. And that's nothing.
Yeah.
If you look at the people they're talking to every day, the lobbyists, the doctors, the lawyers, the banks, the manufacturers. I mean, those people are making millions.
Yeah, the idea was
they're serving the company for $160,000 a year.
Yeah, and that was the idea when they first okay, when you set your salaries, the idea is that you're supposed to serve, and if you get too much money, you're not going to serve the people. You're going to serve the money. So by paying them little and forcing them to serve their people, they're gonna get more winnings. I don't know. That's how they were thinking way back.
I'm not following that, but that's okay.
I'm not following either. But they do have healthcare.
You have to really want the job to be like inspired to take it and take no pay for it. You have to really want the job.
They do have a lot of benefits.
And, sure.
They have very good benefits. They have healthcare.
It's basically free healthcare here.
Yeah.
And
like good
Secret Service.
Healthcare.
I don't know what else.
But the idea was like, if you want to be a public service actor, you need to really want it, because that's not a job that you should aspire to unless you really want it. It's not going to make you any money, and you shouldn't be making money. You're just serving your people.
Okay.
This is Mr. Smith goes to Washington, please. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, please. Has anyone seen this? No? Okay.
What?
Mr. Smith Goes, it's a movie. It's a famous movie from back in the day.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
It's like this really good guy.
There was, who was the actor on that? Oh, I know who it was.
Thinking,
real famous guy. Jimmy Stewart? Was James Stewart an actor on
possibly. That? I don't remember. I don't remember. He was a good actor, but he went there on like very honorable, well-meaning terms and did his job. Yeah, it's an old black and white film.
Yeah.
And he goes there and he does his actual job, gets what needs to be done,
and then leaves.
Yeah, so Mr. Smith does his job in Washington, but now it's just like people go to Washington for a job. It's no longer public service. It's your career is politics.
Yeah, well, that's
career politician.
That's not how it should.
And
be.
everyone hates that. Yeah. That's what Trump even used that. No one wants a career politician anymore.
No.
Nancy Pelosi's been doing this.
Your career should not be politics. That is not your career. You are a citizen with a career, and then in your citizen life, you say, I might be able to serve my country a little bit by offering my experience.
Yeah, do a stint.
Do that, a quick little stint, like a stint, like in racing. You do a stint, and then you get out, and you go back to your career.
You get something done. You have a meaning. There was a meaning why Mr. Smith went to Washington.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it done.
When Trump was president, he did not accept. I think they paid the president like $435,000 a year as president of the United States. He did not accept that, and he took that money. He did take the money and put it into his charitable foundation
which he is under investigation now for using fraudulently, but
well, God, they're going to hit him with everything. They've weaponized the judicial system against him.
Oh yeah,
it's so crazy.
Well, everything's partisan.
But still, it's really curious because we were just talking about the career politicians. It's interesting what's happening in Argentina right now. I think this is going to really serve the books for the later history of how to change a country. What Milei's doing, because he just hacked and slashed all those career politicians out. They're gone. Boom. He just fired. Please. And now he's going for Congress. It's possible. They're doing it here. Well, you can't. No.
Well,
you can't fire congressmen. Those are elected officials.
Well, if they have term limits.
No, All those.
Do they have term limits?
I don't know if they have term
because
limits.
they do not in the States. You can have
No.
For representatives.
Senators
Senator
do
has term limits. Senator
Whoa.
6 years.
No, it's 6 years. But there's no limit to how many 6-year stints you can do.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Your term is 6 years, but you can do it unlimited.
And then the representatives have 2 years.
Which is actually really ridiculous. Actually, that's
Well,
very ridiculous.
they were so afraid of a king. They didn't want another King James or whatever.
I don't think they were thinking that far ahead because they just thought representatives would either die or just go.
Right, because they were so like, we want representation. They were so focused on representation. They didn't realize that representation itself could get out of control
and become the king. Because now it's kind of the king.
That's what happened. They didn't think
Congress has become king.
So now we need a new amendment to the Constitution that sets limits to the representatives, so that the representatives themselves don't become the tyrannists.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
I would
absolutely.
It's a good idea.
2 years.
Good.
2 years is
maybe
the term of a representative.
Yeah, well, then give them
they get
12.
To know their
12 years
constituency.
maximum.
They're supposed to represent their constituency. They're out in bumfuck Iowa, and they've got 5,000 people that voted for them. They have to be representative of the people.
If they serve until their eyeballs are sagging and they can't fucking think and they're having...
Well, that's a problem.
And they're just absorbing all this power, just ruling the people, doing whatever the hell they want.
We talked about this the other day. That's the problem in American politics, is that no young people coming forward.
No, they can't. They cannot.
If maybe the president can only serve 2 terms, so let's say the representatives have double that. 4 terms max per representatives. Done.
Just put a year limit.
8 years.
You
12 years.
That's not.
You could
8
just say
years is,
any person.
If you have a family as a representative, you know those people, and you know their families, you know their children. Then you go and represent them in Congress.
Great, but then
why do you have to change that?
Because someone else can do it.
Yeah, and you should not be a career politician. That is not what you're not supposed to do that. You have your career, and then you go up to politics, you serve it to change something, and then you come back. You don't serve forever till the end of your life.
If I may,
die
just
in
a second.
office.
It's not the Supreme Court. But if you just put a year limit, like 12 years, that means you get 2 terms as a senator or 6 terms as a representative.
Yeah.
That could be fine.
Yeah,
but the reason that young people aren't coming forward is because they can't.
Because people keep serving.
Or if I also
I'm
may,
with you on that. Yes.
My point wasn't that, but in New Mexico there was a race about an incumbent versus a young woman running on the Democratic side, and both of them were going. One of them was going to win, but AIPAC, which is the Israeli Political Action Fund, funded him millions of dollars more, and this girl, she's not a girl, but a young woman, lost by just percentage points, even though she was winning the race, and the other guy was on trial for corruption. He was an asshole. Still, the young person lost, and the old asshole won because money was in the way. It's money. And it's just their power.
Right. So with a limit, if you limited their terms, the money wouldn't be able to get that big. That with an unlimited term, you could have unlimited terms. You could have unlimited money. You can have super PACs and shit.
Unlimited value.
But if you can only be reelected 3 or 4 times, well, they're not going to throw all that money into you. They're going to spread that money around to other people. That money wouldn't all go to one person. It would be it would change a little bit, but
also money in politics needs to change.
That's true, yeah.
Because I think in Australia, Australia and Great Britain, they have a certain amount of money that each candidate can use for their actual campaign.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Each candidate has X million dollars.
That's
the same amount.
Cool. So everyone's on an equal playing field. You take this, and whoever manages their money right is the winner.
It's not about the money. It's about
gets the. Oy vey.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
Wow. Jesus.
Well, on that very difficult, argumentative conversation.
That was very nice.
Oh my God! Here come the predictions.
It's time for the predictions.
No, but that was nice. I did like that argue. I like that arguing back and forth. That was fun. That was really fun. That was fun. I like that.
Let's see.
Well, it's good. We got heavy into politics this week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's cool because the politicians they're gonna make it happen or make
Right.
it not happen or screw it up or make it good.
And now seeing Malay hack and slash, it gives me hope that it's actually possible. Like, I used to think, oh, fuck it, you know what, I'm leaving, I'm out of this shit. I abandoned the U.S. Like, no, there's no way they're gonna serve me. But now this guy is literally doing all this crazy stuff in 3 months, and all of a sudden, my belief has come back. I'm like, wow.
So what
it's
are you
actually
predicting
possible.
the same? You predicted this before that Argentina or Milei will be successful.
Oh, well, okay.
His
Now,
campaign too.
yeah. So yeah, brown predictions. I predict that should Malay succeed, his success is going to reverberate through other nations watching, and it'll change. Like I think the youth, and the youth will stop accepting all this bullshit from their leaders. They will want more from them because he set a new high standard. He's like, we can get things done in 3 months where your guys never got it done for their entire term. And usually when young people see something done faster, they're like, oh, because young people are so impatient. They're like, oh wow, he got it done faster. So I think Malay's success is going to change the mind of young kids in terms of how they think about their politicians and how they think about the actions of their politicians and how fast their politicians should get things done.
That's a good prediction.
All right,
That's a hope. That's a prayer.
Yep, that's a prayer.
Yeah, that's mine.
Well,
Next. I'm not sure
okay,
yet.
I'm
Thinking
going to
about
go
something.
pedestrian again here.
Bring us back down to earth. Yeah, I'm like inspirational. You're
I
like
predict-
more earthly.
We're going to have a tempest next week of mosquitoes here in Buenos
Lordy.
Aires.
Oh,
My God,
Lordy.
after all this rain, it's been raining for 5 days here.
Right.
Like 4 inches a day. The place is inundated.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're just going to get ate up.
Yeah,
So
they do call it the flood mosquito.
Get that off.
Oh yeah,
Get
by now.
that stuff
Oh my God.
sprayed
I'm gonna buy
out
that today.
every morning.
Oh God.
You know,
it's,
and-
it's not a nice prediction, but I think it's a prediction.
Yeah,
You're
I
also
changed my
right.
water this morning. I changed all my waters.
There is a heat wave coming, so you might be
God,
right on that.
Yeah.
Oh, with the heat. Oh, they love the
Oh,
heat.
the heat
no.
and all the,
we're
the
in
water.
Oh, that prediction's true. That's gonna come true for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wish we were
Yeah.
live.
We're gonna have
Everyone
to
buy
wear-
off, buy off.
Yeah.
God.
We're going to have to
right.
wear welding masks on the street to keep them off our face, you know,
Oh,
the things
fuck.
that pull
Oh,
down,
Lord,
all
yeah.
that plastic in front of
Oh
you.
no.
Oh,
A full
man.
hazmat. Just go full
God
hazmat.
damn it. You know that last big heat wave before fall.
Invest in off. Johnson
Right.
& Johnson. I found that company.
Yes.
Right.
All right,
And
let's see.
yours?
Mine. You went real world. You went optimistic. I'm gonna go pessimistic. I think that something warlike is gonna happen by next week. I feel like the Asian area they're just something's gonna pop off. Something either there or in Haiti. I mean, I just feel well that's inevitable. War's gonna happen somewhere. So my prediction is kind of mum, isn't
A
it?
new world.
Oh God.
A new little war, yeah. And I think it might even be in Haiti, like Haiti versus the incoming. They're gonna try and send peace troops to Haiti. War
Jesus.
gonna come out of that.
Even just you saying that depresses my brain.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Just makes
the
me
world
sad.
is at war. Just get used to it.
Ah.
I don't even care. I am immune. You know, if you
I
get
don't
hit
really
so
mind.
many
Yeah.
times with
Well,
this
they-
shit, eventually
yeah.
your brain just turns it off. Says, oh, another fucking war. You know, 10,000 people dead, 100,000
Oh,
people
Lord.
dead.
Oh, God.
It's like another one. So you're thinking the 4th major conflict is
Yeah.
coming up
Something's
someplace.
coming.
Woodward. Oh God.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of immune now. You just know it's gonna happen. People die, people live. It's the human
Experience.
experience. It's the human, the tendency just to be warlike and animalistic. But
That's
yeah,
the way we are.
sadly,
I
on
don't
that
know why.
sad note, I should
Well,
have
on
went first.
that note,
I hate to leave you this way, folks, but we have run out of time. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. If you like what you hear, and especially if you didn't, please subscribe and or follow on your favorite podcasting app. Until next week, this has been a slightly rainy and quite combative episode of The Velvet Hammer.
It's number 11, folks. Hey, have a great week.